One of the biggest challenges on the internet today is cybercrime, and that is because hackers are becoming a lot more sophisticated. In order to ensure that internet is much safer, there will be need to train more experts in this emerging field. Remy Afon, President Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, joins to share his views on capacity building for the cybersecurity industry.
Remy, welcome to Tech Trends.
Thanks.
Would you say we have enough talent for the cybersecurity industry today?
No. At the moment, there is a shortage of cybersecurity professionals in Nigeria. And not only in Nigeria, there is a global shortage of cybersecurity professionals. As at the last count, based on the ISC Squared research, there's going to be shortage of cybersecurity professionals of the tune of 1.8 million in the next 5 years. Nigeria, we are not even doing anything to address it. All other countries are doing a lot to address it. For instance, the UK is developing some young talent between the age of 16 and 19 that will take over from the old ones. Those people that will be like cyber armies for the country. But at the moment in Nigeria, we are not even looking at that direction.
Give us some examples of what the UK is doing at the moment.
Now, the United Kingdom just created a cybersecurity academy that will develop the talent of the people between the age of 16 and 19. These are young talents that will be developed to protect the country. As you can see, there are about 30 countries, according to research by Security Intelligence in America, about 30 countries are building cybersecurity capabilities. So it's not only United Kingdom. Some other countries like North Korea, like Russia, they are developing talents to be able to protect their countries. Some other countries, which I may not be able to mention, are developing people for offensive capabilities. So those are rogue nations.
Who is funding this academy?
So we now have what we call a non-governmental organization that is doing that. Some organizations are brought together, but the government is backing them. The government is giving them grants and support.
For me, it is worrisome that we have close to 100 million internet users. I would think that having cybersecurity professionals shouldn't be a challenge. What is missing?
What is missing is the foundation, to start with. How many universities in Nigeria are they offering cybersecurity as a course? How many institutions have we got? How many private institutes are offering cybersecurity, are teaching cybersecurity? So there's need for awareness, because if you look at it from another angle, we are complaining of recession, we are talking about unemployment. If we have enough cybersecurity professionals, because in the next 5 years, like I said, there's going to be about 1.8 million shortfall of cybersecurity professionals. So Nigeria can actually service some other countries which don't really have...
Remotely?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can work from anywhere in the world, to protect organization. You can have what we call a security operating center in Nigeria being manned by Nigerians, and you'll be servicing a lot of multinational organizations.
What is the way forward for us as a country? Because the reality is that the cyberspace is not a very safe place. What should we be doing at this point in time?
At this point in time, there is a need for collaborative efforts, to fight cybercrime. There's a need for collaborative efforts for awareness. The government needs to take leadership in this case, but we need private sectors and non-governmental organizations to come together and be able to have a common front to fight these menace.
If you look at Nigeria today, would you say the private sector is doing enough? Because you just mentioned private sector, but I want to know, are they doing enough from your research?
The private sectors are not doing enough, to be honest, because there's no leadership. If government is providing leadership, without coercing them, they will fall in line. So there's a need to have a leadership to be provided by government. We have similar coalition in other parts of the world, whereby government provide leadership. What government is going to provide is just the platform. Government doesn't need to provide money. Everything is not about money, but it's all about providing that leadership, and everybody will fall in place and support the effort of the government.
So let's assume nobody listens to you as a president of Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria. What are some of the risks we face in the future?
We face imminent risk at the moment. We are facing the risk at the moment, and we face a lot of risk in the future. Now, we have seen cases whereby countries, they get hacked. We have seen cases whereby elections, national elections, are being influenced by foreign countries. I believe very soon Nigeria is going to have an election in 2019. Without being an alarmist, we should be prepared for hackers. So there is a need for us to protect our data. Individualists, politicians, it's not only government, politicians. You can see that people hack into politicians' emails and expose them. So everybody needs to be cybersecurity conscious. So it's a shared responsibility now. Otherwise, we'll be caught unaware.
For those watching this show now, what does it take to become a cybersecurity professional?
The first step, and that's why we have provided a kind of platform. If they are a member of our association, we'll be able to train them in the right direction. We'll be able to give them the guidance and the leadership that is needed. Also, we'll be able to point them in some other direction because we've got a lot of international professional bodies. So depending on the area they want to specialize in, if they want to be ethical hacker, we've got International Ethical Hackers Association. You know, the certified ethical hackers that they can join. If they want to be like governance, there's international certification that they can go for. So I would recommend that they start studying, and there are so many field resources online, and start preparing for the exams. And once they are certified, because obviously they teach them about the ethics of the profession as well. It's not all about hacking. It's not all about, there's also, you know, ethics. There's a limit. You don't just go and hack someone's, you know, organization without any permission. So these are the things they are going to learn.
Any other special requirements, say BSc or HND or OND?
Those are not relevant anymore. You know, the era of BSc, MSc, PhD, they are no longer relevant. Because you see these guys that are hackers, you know, they are just teenagers that didn't even go to school. Some of them are just in the school, some of them are in secondary schools. And they know how to use all these tools. So you don't need to put in barriers and say you need to be a PhD guy or MSc or BSc. I've got BSc in computer science, but we are not going to put barrier there, you know, for these young guys that are coming in.
Finally, Remy, one of the reasons why we brought the online security segment of this show is to educate Nigerians about the risk of using the internet. What will be your final advice for Nigerians?
So basically, let me just start by, you know, commending your efforts with this online security awareness that you normally post on YouTube. You know, my association also try to assist in terms of reposting all these and sharing it in social media. So what the advice I'm going to give for the audience is that we should take security seriously. You know, we should not allow it to happen to us before we start looking for remedy. You know, so the best thing to do is to stop, think, connect. It's one of the concepts that we are promoting. We've got an initiative called Stop, Think, Connect. So I will advise people to stop, think before you go online. Then be very careful about what you share. Share with care. And when you see any information coming in, any email, any attachment, think twice. Look at it first to be sure that it's coming from a legitimate source. If it's not coming from a legitimate source, or even if it's coming from a legitimate source, try to verify by calling, you know, the person if you are not expecting that kind of, you know, correspondence.
Thank you for being on Tech Trends today.
Thanks a lot.
It's a wrap on this edition of Tech Trends, but the conversation continues online. Please follow us on social media. Remember, you can watch the entire show on the Channels TV YouTube account or via my blog, cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I am Chukwemeka Agbata.